So for someone who maybe goes online, buys the product, what would be, a drill or two, or a way maybe with somebody where they could, really initiate this and go over that? Would it be like get a partner and they just kind of keep feeding you the ball, so you got like the reaction time, or have two people that are both kind of with the device and trying to get, just rally in a volley type setting? What do you think?
Interestingly enough, that is the article that I just wrote for Pickleball magazine, which is coming out in a few weeks. And it's called 3 Ways to Practice: blocked, serial, and random. And block would mean repetition. So if it's, we'll switch to tennis, I guess, in a minute. So if it's pickleball, for example, with the continental grip, then, you can hit against a wall, against an angled netting, like our, Rebounder Deluxe, whatever you want, where it's repetition, the same thing. Now, if it was serial practice, you would need a ball machine or a tosser or a feeder to you, right? And then a serial example would be one forehand, one backhand, one forehand volley, one backhand, one forehand, one backhand. It's a sequence that's repeated. And random would be the most realistic, which would be in the middle of a point. It could be practice. It doesn't have to be a tournament to be random. Just regular rally can be random. And then you see, okay, when I come from the baseline up to the service line, I hit one volley, my first volley. I can freeze and check my grip and see, oh, I did good, or no, gosh, I'm still, because if I come in with an Eastern forehand grip and then I try to hit backhands, I've got trouble, or I have to take the time to switch the grip, which is time you just don't have. So grips are very, very, very important as they relate to improvement.
Just to add on to that, going off your question, Billy, about like, okay, someone's looking at a training aid or they get one, how can they, train with it? A really effective way, because what you're trying to do is you're using the training aid as like a shortcut to that mind-body connection, the kinesthetic or visual feeling. So let's say you're using a training aid like the Angle Doctor. You could, in one of the methods that Joe described, you can get out with a ball machine, you could get out with a partner, you could get out with a coach, or you could literally, could use it in depending on the product, you could use it in a point or some variation of a point. And you'd want to use it for maybe, 6 or 8 shots, enough to try and like cement that feeling, and then take it off and try without and see if you retained it. If you didn't, put it on, try again, 6 to 8 shots, something like that. Take it off, try again, and just keep repeating those cycles until you're able to, do it on your own. And if you then, maybe you take a vacation, you don't play for a few weeks, you come back and you start reverting to those old habits. Okay, time to break out the training aid again and, reinforce that.
Yeah. And so even like if, I know me when I play recreationally, I'll warm up for 20 minutes with someone, right? We'll just kind of, so it could be something that during that process, you're putting it on, hitting a few,
Totally.
taking it off, and, kind of almost like a part of your warm up to continue to reinforce that body mind connection that you started.
Absolutely. And I mean, some of, the Flex Trainer comes to mind. Like, that's a product that we're not sharing today. We'll have to do in the next webinar. But, I would use that. Like, that's a great one that could be used every time, because it's giving you that feeling for like being low and moving really in a really springy way. Plus, you're getting like resistance training in. So then you take it off and suddenly you feel like you're flying around the court.